excited. I'm excited for tonight because I've got to see some text from you all, and I'm getting to see some of your all's numbers, and it makes me excited because I know it's going to be a Merry Christmas for a lot of you guys that are doing Christmas site installs. Now, I know it's not been good for everybody, and some people have struggled, and some people have not had as good success. But I have talked to several people that have had awesome success, and we're going to talk about these successes. I kind of know how they did their marketing, so I will talk about each person and their successes. And then if anybody else comes on and wants to give me more of your successes, we will talk about your successes too. So it's been really fun watching people grow, watching people learn and grow, and the ones that came to my class, the ones that didn't come to my class, the ones that took my class online, and to see you guys do things that you would never think that you would do. And so it is awesome to see how people have done and what they have done and what they have accomplished. Hey, Jason, king of pressure washing. So I just got one in earlier today. Actually, 2 or 3 people has messaged me today. And so to see these numbers just makes me excited to see it. So my number one person that has made more than anybody else, that has done more than anybody I know that have done this for their very first year. This guy is, he's young. He's only about 28, 29 years old. He's a go-getter. I had him on the show a couple weeks ago, and he is doing amazing. Now, what's he doing to be able to get leads? He's doing all kinds of things. He's doing everything that you could possibly think to do. He's doing Facebook ads. He's doing Google ads. He's doing buku loads of yard signs. He's doing the radio. He did television. He's doing a lot of different things to be able to get leads coming in. And from that, he has done very, very well. His very first year coming into this, he is at $225,000, which is freaking amazing because the season's not even over yet. In fact, he just closed a big job. And so that's what is awesome about this stuff, is watching these guys close big jobs and do things that, would be unbelievable. And so that is what's really cool. And actually, I did a video. I did a short on my pressure washing channel, and he was the one that was on that video. And we were talking about knowing the right guy, right? And he even points, knowing the right guy. And so knowing the right people can help you get to where you're going. I see a lot of people that they don't want help. They think they know it all. They think they can do it all. And, here's the thing. Michael Jordan, he had coaches. Anybody that's big, they have coaches. Why? It's not because they couldn't do it without them. It's because that's the only way they're getting there. They're getting pushed, and they're doing things that they probably would have never done on their own. And so, that's the cool thing about that. And so Sam, with my guy, is out of Indianapolis, and he's at $225,000. And that is the most of anybody I know that just starting out of year one of hitting those kinds of numbers. And that is freaking awesome, And so one of the things that Sam does is he is growing his business, right? He has a pressure washing business, and he's trying to grow the Christmas site business. Now, did Sam hit his goal? Well, Sam didn't hit his goal this year. He missed it by quite a bit. But he set a goal, and like I told him, the year's not over yet, right? The year is not over yet to maybe hit a higher goal than he already is. And so his goal for this year was $600,000. And, I was like, that's a big goal. I've never seen anybody even come close to that. And even if they were business savvy, I've never seen anybody come close to that out of their first year. Do I believe he could do it in year 2? Absolutely, I believe he could do it in year 2 because he's got 225,000. Like I say, he'll probably end up way more than that and then he will end up doing it. Now, one thing I want to say about this is the 2 or 3 people that I've talked to is that people are still closing big jobs. In fact, I believe Sam just closed like a giant job this week. A $17,000 job just sold, right? A $17,000. So don't give up yet. I have another person that I'm going to talk to just closed another big job, right? These are things that you can do, and it will do it if you are making sure you're doing your follow-ups, making sure that you are doing all the things that you need to do to keep your marketing going and keep the things that you need to go. So before we get too far along, let's see who all we got in here. We got Mr. Truth Seeker. Good evening. How are you doing? We got Mr. Jason in Florida. He says, we love lights. We got Mr. Ryan Lee in the house talking. He did a post about some Christmas lights. Hi, Jason. First year here. I've only gotten 4 jobs with about 20 leads. So you're right at where your percentage is. You're actually double your percentage. I've used Facebook ads and signs. What else do I need to be doing? And is it too late to get more leads? We're getting to the point that it's getting almost too late, but we will usually sell jobs all the way up to the 10th of December. After the 10th of December, it just dies off completely. It's actually cut down a whole lot, but you know, it is what it is at this point. Christmas light customers are premium pressure washing customer. My goal is 250,000. If I hit 230, I won't be sad. Now that's pressure washing and Christmas lights both, and that is doing it part-time, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. John Costin here. One of the reasons you get to 225 probably because he was pushing for 600. A lot of people push for 225 and get 150, and that is 100% true right here, right? We shoot for the moon, and if we land on the stars, we're doing well. If we only shoot for 100,000, then all we're probably going to do is 80,000 if we're lucky. And so these are things that when we shoot for high tickets, because when we do this, we market for higher pricing. We're doing different things to try to get to where we want to get to. And that is definitely 100% true. What's up, Tim? How are you doing? Good evening from Memphis, Tennessee. Hi, Jason. My very first Christmas light job doing gutters lights this weekend. And that's the other thing. If you're just getting started, get started. Do 2, 3, 4, 5 installs this year under your belt. So next year when you go into it, it'll be a lot simpler. And then you're not focusing on worrying about how to install. You're worried more about how to get more customers. And that is the most important part when we are dealing with this here. So I talked about one person that's $225,000. I also I talked to another guy today. He took our class in September. He's a young guy. He's only, he's like 22, 23, I believe. He will be on my show or on my Chris Pressure Washing show probably. And he is doing amazing. So he actually didn't start marketing them till October, to the end of October. And when hey, Patrick Clark, are you still in town? I seen that you were in town. But he's 22, 23 years old. He came to our class. He has a very, very successful Christmas or window cleaning business. And so he's like, yeah, I didn't really start marketing them till end of October, November 1st. And I ran out of materials by October, right before the week of Thanksgiving. So I didn't order no more. And, you know, I'm at $80,000. His very first year did $80,000 in in 3 weeks, basically, which is amazing, right? That's awesome. Now, I got to give it to him. He does have a very successful window cleaning business that did $500,000. And so he was just kind of getting his feet wet to see how he can scale this Christmas light business and next year he said his goal will be 250 or 300,000. So, you know, this is some pretty cool things that we are doing. Look at this. Hey, this guy here came to our advanced class. Hey man, did 62,000 last year, booking at close at 180. $180,000. Goal for this year was 350. We will be close to $300,000. You know, and here's the thing I love about all of these people that I've been talking about. There's nothing special about people hitting these numbers. Philip Ambrose, are you still he was by himself last year, right? You know, he's a cool dude. But he's growing his business and he's getting to where he needs to be at. And so that is freaking amazing to see these types of numbers. I love being able to see just regular old people making this kind of money. Now, the one thing that I have my Christmas light group, and you know, there was some things said in it today that I don't really, what makes someone successful versus what makes someone not successful. You know, that kind of makes me sit there and think about why are people like Philip Ambrose going to do $180,000 in Christmas lights, did $62,000 his first year. There's nothing special about him. He probably didn't go to college. And he's just an ordinary person, right? He is nothing special at all. And so with that, you know, like I said, there's nothing special about Philip. I mean, I hate to be mean, but there's nothing special about him. He's just a humble guy with a big old beard, and he's just a great guy. And he ended up doing $180,000 and going to be close to $300,000 in Christmas lights. That's freaking amazing. I don't care who you are. You know, and so these are just ordinary people. I don't even see the other guy that usually on here tonight. Then I'm going to talk about him. My 21, 22-year-old Nathan Brinker, right? Nathan. His November was $49,000. He lives in a little city called Cynthiana, Kentucky, in the middle of nowhere. It is about 30-40 minutes from a big town, which is Lexington, Kentucky. And he's done $49,000 in 1 month, in the month of November. And, you know, people like that is amazing. You know, how did he get most of his leads? He got most of his leads through, you know, Facebook, yard signs, and referrals, right? That's how he got his business. Very first year, he took my class in June or July, August, when I had it with Sam. Him and Sam were in the same class that did 225 already. You know, and that's the thing, that you can do this stuff. There's nothing special about it. It's just a matter of you taking your time and getting it done. You know, I remember the week before Thanksgiving, Nathan's like, I'm going out of town on Thursday and Friday. Should I answer my phone? I'm like, yeah, you should answer your phone. Absolutely, you should answer your phone. You know, and I think he ended up getting a bid of $10,000, and he ended up spending $5,000 on that bid. But he closed another one at like $4,800. Just a 21, 22-year-old kid. Now, has he done things to set himself apart to get to where he is? Absolutely. You know, he took my class, which I don't care if you take my class or not. He's taken classes with Grant Cardone. He's in Grant Cardone's university, and he's learning how to sell, right? He's learning how to sell. He's learning how to do the things that he needs to do to make a successful business grow. And these are the things that you have to do. Again, he did it through yard signs, and he did it through Facebook ads. And I don't think he did Google ads, but I know he did those two things. And then referrals was his other one. Now, did he have to drive some? Yeah. One of his jobs is 2 hours away in a little bitty town in the middle of nowhere. But he ended up getting one job and ended up doing half the street down there. And so that's the thing that you can do to be able to hit that. I think he did like $10,000 or $15,000. That's 2 hours away from Lexington, or it's about an hour from Lexington, but he's a half hour. So it's an hour and a half, 2 hours where he's got to go. And so that's the cool thing about Christmas lights is if you can find the right people, those are the people we want to be doing and growing our business, right? And these are the things that we have to start looking at and doing, you know. And so, you know, like I said with him, Lindy, that she posted that they're at $60,000 this year. They literally do it part-time. They literally do it Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And they only probably do 1 or 2 jobs a day. But that's where they're at. It's $60,000 part-time. You know, and so these are the things that you can do to be able to grow. Now, is it a lot with the mindset? Absolutely. that's where I kind of jumped off the subject of what makes people successful versus what people don't make people successful, right? And so it's kind of like what Ryan posted here. You know, one of the reasons you get to 225 is probably because you're pushing for 600,000, right? When we have the right mindset, when we have the mindset of hitting here and we hit up here, oh, darn. But if we put it here and we end up here, we're at nothing, right? And so we got to make sure we're doing the things to be able to close that job. What's our close? It's a numbers game at the end of the day. Nathan that did $49,000, his close rate is like 10, 12%. So how do we get more leads? How do we get more leads? How do we close more jobs? What are things that we can do to close jobs better? What are things that we can do to make things faster? I know with another guy that's in my membership was talking about, you know, and that he's here from Cincinnati, and he's like, you know, it started out slow in October and he was worried. And then all of a sudden November came and he was, you know, slammed and trying to figure out all this stuff and trying to put systems together to make things easier, to make things flow easier. And then with the things that we have to do, just like whether it's pressure wash, any business, right? What's your system for answering the phone? How does that go? What's your system for getting people the emails? Are you trying to call them? Are you texting them back? What are you doing to try to doing it? Are you following up? Are you doing those things to make sure that, hey, you know, I've seen 3 people. Philip was one of them. Philip Ambrose right here, where he's at, wherever he went here. He followed up just with an email. He followed up to everybody. Ended up closing a $5,000 deal off of someone that told him no, right? $5,000 just by sending an email out. One email, $5,000. How many emails are you sending out? Let's send out 10. That's $50,000, right? Let's send out text. That DJ sent out a text, $5,000. Somebody else I talked to send out a text or an email and ended up getting like $5,000 off of it. Make sure we're following up. Following up is key. Even if they told you to go pound salt, go follow up with them. Follow up, follow up, follow up. You already paid for that lead. Follow up with them. That's the important part that we got to do there. You know, these are the things that we have to do to make us successful. So we talked about Lindy. We talked about Nathan. We talked about the other young kid that's 80, you know, that did $80,000, right? It can be done. You can do it too. You know, are we following up? Are we doing the things that we need to do to make sure? Are we getting leads? How are we? What does those leads look like, right? You know, are we putting another thing that we can be working on right now for next year is, are we getting our photos? Are we getting our photos and putting them in Google My Business? Are we putting lots of photos in Google My Business? If your Google My Business is not started yet, are you getting photos so that you can put it in there so when it does start? Are you posting these pictures of them on the website? Are you doing Facebook Lives at night? Are you doing the things that you need to do to get traffic to your website so people want to buy, right? It's an emotional buy. This here is the biggest emotional buy that you will ever see with Christmas lights. DJ did a job, and I mean, it's like, it was $4,000 a piece, so it was $8,000 between these two houses. It was like $7,600, and they're adding more reefs, they're adding more stuff, they're adding more lights, and it's going to be a $9,000, $10,000 job at the end of the day, right? These are the things that we want. We want these types of customers that are willing to pay $8,000 to $10,000. And you might say, Jason, there's no way people out there will pay $8,000 to $10,000. Jeremy did a job and they got $15,000 for 2 days. $15,000 2 days. 69 little trees. They weren't even big trees. They were 3 strands apiece. $15,000, right? They're out there. And they closed them like the day before. This was only 2 or 3 days ago, right? This wasn't a long bid. They want it now, right? It's an emotional buy. We give it to them now. We'll let them have it now. But we got to make it relevant. We got to make it, you know, when we're talking on the phone, how are we talking to them? Are we running our mouths and talking about how great these lights are and their LED and blah, 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 blah? Or are we letting them talk so we can sell them on what they want? You know, I ain't got time to put them up. Awesome. You know what? We got time to put these lights up for you. We got all the time in the world to put these lights up for you. We'll put them up whenever you want them put up. You want to put them up right now? Oh, cool. We got that. We got that taken care of for you. All contacts are getting text in September for 2023. Then collect deposit by 10/10 and install those by 10/31. That leaves November for late shoppers. I would start sending in June and or in July and August. I wouldn't even wait till September. Christmas in July. Have you ever heard that before? We're sending it in July and August. And the beautiful thing about getting our deposits in July and August, especially if you run other businesses, that's usually when it's hard time for cash flow. So that helps with that cash flow. Does anyone else use Nextdoor app to reach some locals? I've got quite a few jobs off of there. I did. That's another thing I was going to say. Make sure right now you're asking for your reviews, getting those reviews now. Because the sooner we get to Christmas, it's going to get into the Christmas season and they're not going to think about it. Make sure that we're sending those texts to get that review, and not just one text, 3, 4, 5, 6 texts. Or emails. How are you guys pricing the job? And how many houses going to make 180,000? It depends. Most people, if you're doing those types of numbers, his average house is $2,000. Anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500 is his average house. And you're charging $8 to $12 a foot. We're not charging no $4, $5, $5 a foot. That's back to that mindset thing, right? A lot of people think that you're making this kind of money and you're just bad and evil and you shouldn't be doing that. And it's the people that are poor that are thinking that, right? If you've only done a $50,000, $60,000 job, and that's the most money you've ever made, and you're going to do $50,000 in 1 month, that's mind blowing. I don't care who you are. That's mind blowing. And you don't think you're worth that much, but you are worth that much. Don't think that way. Don't think hourly. Well, I'm going to make $200 because it's only going to take me an hour to put it up, and I'm going to get $2,000. That's you can. I seen a guy posting and he charged $600 for a $2,000 house, right? Nobody making money at that. You know what? You know who they're going to have to call next year? It ain't him, because he's going to be out of business. You're going to be out of business when you go cheap. How are these guys pricing the jobs? Also, I already answered that one. So mean, Philip. I think you're special. He is special. We just started this year with no marketing, and we sold $25,000 so far. It's amazing. Boom. Love lights. Lights are awesome. Lights are amazing. Hey, Jason. What up, Kurt? Started later in the year. You made it happen. Training it quickly. We will hit 65,000, and we did not sell one job in person. I want to see you hit 100, Lee, because that's what I told you could do. And I know you're getting the leads. I was hoping you'd get more than that. But 65,000 pretty good your first year, starting in the middle of November. Business cards are good too. People spend stupid money at Christmas. My customers are grandparents. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, man, why do Christmas light signs work way better than pressure washing signs? Because pressure washing signs are chores. Christmas lights make them all warm and fuzzy inside. We like those warm fuzzies. Warm fuzzies inside is a great thing because that's what we're looking for. This is Jesse. I did right around 55,000 in 4 weeks with all virtual sales team. And he's going to be coming on my live on pressure washing before too long. Get to Jason's class. It's worth every penny. Do you do lives Wednesday on Facebook? I was on the Zoom. I do lives on Facebook. As of right now, this is the Christmas light lives. And then the only time I do Zooms is on Monday nights at 9s, and I do and every other Sunday night is a Zoom. Our November ended at $63,450. Craziness. That's amazing. I love it. You guys are awesome. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. are great install times. We've had neighbors coming home, stop, and ask for quotes. This is exciting. Yes, we love it. It's definitely a different sale than washing. Yep. Mr. Tristan was another one that's done well this year. We didn't have the time or inventory to install 350 feet on a guy's house. We told him we could book it next year on the way out the door. My son sold him $400 lights for his 4 trees. Schmack. Hey, we'll sell you something one way or another. Been trying to grow my business. This is my 7th season, only about 340 jobs last year, and we'll end up less than this year. Lost 68 clients last year and only gained 100. That don't make much sense. 7th year, 340 jobs last year, and we'll end up this year lost 68 jobs. Oh, gained 100 new clients. But the question is what's your average ticket for those 340 jobs? That's my question to people. Review questions. Our business operates in 3 areas: pressure washing, landscape, Christmas light. Is it okay to do all the reviews on the same GMB? It's not best, but you can. May legitimately hit $100,000 in lights this year, finishing up a $13,000 commercial job as I'm watching this. And he started this year and took our class in October. So guys, make sure that Christmas lights are crazy. Christmas lights is one of the most fun things that I love teaching. Do I make as much money as I do in pressure washing? So, teaching people pressure washing. No, but I have way more fun during Christmas lights because I see people making numbers that are blowing people's minds, right? For Nathan, $49,000 in a 1 month at 22 years old. How many in here at 22 years old would know what to do if you made $49,000? Because he don't have that many help. I don't even know if he has a helper. I think he does have 1 helper. You figure a third of that in cost. So how many people what would you do if you knew? The question is, what would you do if you knew what you knew now when you were that age? Would you be doing the smart things, or would you be doing the things that you shouldn't be doing, right? These are the things that we need to make sure that we are learning and we are doing the right things. If I plan to do Christmas lights next year, what does the DBA process look like? A DBA is super simple. You go to your Secretary of State, wherever your LLC is, and you ask for a DBA, and it's like $15, $25, $30. I don't know how much it is. And they give you a DBA. It's super simple. It's not hard. There's more money in pressure washing. I would probably disagree on that. I think more people make more money off of Christmas lights than they do pressure washing. Christmas lights is an eye-opener experience, especially for premium pricing. And I want to hit on that too, right? Let's talk about premium pricing. Let's talk about premium pricing and why it's important and why we should do premium pricing. Because it not only teaches us that people will pay money for us to do things. And so we can use these same techniques even in pressure washing, landscape lighting, all of your services, window cleaning, any of this stuff, gutter cleaning. We can use these same techniques for this same stuff here, and so this is why it's important that we do premium pricing, because premium pricing is why, some people, I'm gonna hit on somebody here, and I don't mean to be mean, Jeremy, but I'm gonna hit on you. So your average ticket is $350 for that. So you did 350 jobs at an average of that, right? So you did 350 jobs at an average of $750. So you did $262,000 for 340 jobs, right? Now, if you would have did half that, if you would have raised, let's just say you did 100 jobs at times that by double your price, let's say times 1,500. Now we're at $150,000, right? and we only did 100 jobs. Less less headache, less everything. And so this is the thing about thinking about premium pricing. This is why our goal is to get our average ticket up to $2,500. And yes, I have people that their average ticket is $2,500. If my average ticket, I got guys that have average ticket of $2,500 and they only do 100 jobs and they're making the same amount of money as someone's doing 340 jobs, right? And so this is why it's important that we talk about premium pricing. And I know I can hear it every time. Well, you just don't understand. You're not in my area. Well, I guarantee you, I got people in your area. I guarantee you there's people in the same people that are charging the $2,500, their average ticket, and they're charging $99. They're the $99 guy. They're the cheap guy. They're the $4 or $5 a foot. I got a guy up here in Dayton that sits there and argues with me that you can't get more than $4 or $5 a foot. And I've got guys up there that are getting $8, $9 a foot, right? Because they're asking and they're getting it. And that's the biggest thing. Now, are you closing everybody? Who was it? Somebody was like, man, Jason, you are right. So I raised my prices to $8, $9 a foot. My close rate didn't go down at all. Imagine that. Your close rate didn't go down at all because you went up. That's weird. Let me think about that. Do I want to be at $6 or do I want to be at $8, $9? And my close rate didn't go down at all. That sounds like a no-brainer to me. And so this is some things that we got to think about. Here's the thing. Because I know somebody else that's local to me that, they got quick in getting installs done, right? They got them done. So what do? Lower your prices, get more? How about you go try to get more leads so you can get more jobs done? That's what I would try to do. I'm not going to lower my prices. What happens next year if you lose guys and now you can't get that 350 people up? Or if you're the only one putting up the 350 people, what happens if you get hurt? Then your business is done and it's over. And that's not a good thing. But these are some things that we have to think about when we're dealing with premium pricing. Premium pricing is huge. And one way to get premium pricing is we got to, and it starts from the phone call when we first talk to people, right? If you don't believe you can get that $2,000 per house, guess what? You won't get $2,000 per house. You won't get $1,000. If you don't believe you can get $1,000 per house, you won't get $1,000. You got to believe that you are worth what you're worth. That's what it comes down to. You have to believe that you are worth $2,000. If you don't believe that you're worth $2,000, you're right. You're not going to get no $2,000 jobs. But if you believe that you're worth $3,000, you'll close $2,000 jobs just like that because you understand how to sell it, you believe in it, and you will make them believe in it. If you're hesitant and you're hem-hauling around and you're, guess what? You're not going to sell jobs. I'm sorry. You're just not going to sell them. It's going to be really hard for you to sell jobs. That's why a lot of times females sell more than men can do. Because females, we get attachment as males. We want to talk about the lights. We want to talk about all of the things. Females go talk about other stupid stuff and then they just sell stuff, right? And that's why I put a female on. If I had a business, I'm trying to put a female on that in closing stuff. First year, focusing on premium pricing and quoting every item we can. $72,000 sold with an average ticket of $2,900. Look at that. Just what I said. We don't need every customer. I don't want 300 customers. You know what 300 customers are? That's 300 babies crying. That's what that is. Because you know what? Here's another thing about the cheap customers. Who do you think complains more? The person that's paying a $750 average ticket or the person that's paying a $2,000 average ticket? The person that's paying the $700, that's a lot of money to them. The people that are paying the $2,000-$3,000, who cares? Right? DJ went to one of his jobs, bigger jobs, that I've got photos and videos that I'll be putting up here. And they had 4 cars in their garage worth $1 million. You think that's my customer? You're right. That's my customer. 4 cars in the garage worth $1 million. Heck yeah, I want that customer. Because what's $2,000? Okay, I misunderstood. This is Kent. Why does it say Facebook user? I don't know why it says it. What do you pay your help? That's you're anywhere from, we paid them anywhere from 15 to 25 bucks. I know the one guy that was my head guy and he's only making like 22, 23 bucks an hour, and that was and this is 5 years later from when I sold the business. And so he's still at that, but he's one of the best installers I had. He could go put up 6, 7 houses and be back by 4 o'clock every day. It didn't matter what I gave him. He would get it done and be back. He was fast. 34 jobs at $2,252 a piece. Paul Gardner, $1,500 minimum. That's how you get rid of that. Look at that, $1,500 minimum. $7 a linear foot here in Colorado. You can get way more than that. I know you can. I had a guy last year getting $10. He did $120,000 his very first year, or $100,000 off 25 yard signs, and you can get way more than $7 a foot. In Ho Junk, Alabama. Had to put up 800 feet together for tomorrow because it came in at 8. Had to put up, oh, that was Nathan. Lights came in 2 hours ago. In Texas, there's guys renting out commercial C9s for $200. Yep, and you know what? They won't be in business next year. That's the crazy thing about it. And you know what else? Those same people that they put them up for, they won't even come back. They'll need somebody to come take their lights down too for them. Tried to close a job at $6 a foot in October with no luck. Last 2 installs were $11 a foot. You got to ask to get it. What do you pay your help? I'm at $9 and up. Look, Nathan, 22, 23 years old, $9 a foot. Why? What's your excuse? I need some roofer help next year. That definitely helps out a lot. What's the best way to target premium customers? I'm thinking about going to rich neighborhoods and a bunch of signs. If there's another more direct way to get these customers to weed out the low prices. So like one thing you can do instead, like if you're doing AdWords, you can target those areas, and that's one way I would do it. If you're doing Facebook ads, you can target down to neighborhoods. There's other things out there that you can target all the way down to the single address and around it, and their IP addresses. So, they'll see you 2-3 times every time they're looking at you. There's things that you can do to target those neighborhoods. So when I used to run Google Ads for my own business, I pinpointed. So like here, there's a whole line across. So you got Cincinnati, which is a circle. And so you had the top half, it's not even really the top half. It's about half here, and it's quarter circle that's where I mainly target. And then like Northern Kentucky, I only did like 2 or 3 cities in Northern Kentucky. I did Fort Thomas, I did Union, and I did Hebron. That's all I didn't do all the other towns in there because I know that wasn't my customer. And so that's who I'm looking for. Sitting here watching you and just sent a $23,000 residential quote. Premium pricing works. Can you way more than 7 get way more? Send me a message, Ken. Yes, you can definitely get more. Ken is from there, from Colorado. If you're charging 7, you can charge 8. If you're charging 8, you can charge 9. And that's the thing, right? If someone's not willing to pay $900, they're not willing to pay $700 or $600. That's just, it's true. If they're not willing to spend $600, they're not going to spend $900. If they're not going to spend $900, they're probably not going to spend $600. I actually believe we can and will get $9 to $10 a foot. You need to talk to Ken. He's already talking to you up there. You need to talk to Ken because Ken can definitely help you. He's in Denver area. I'm excited to learn more about this. So do I have to get catalogs from any stores, or where can I get lights? Christmaslights.io. You go there, it'll take you to a website. You can hit buy lights, and that's where you can go. Mr. Andrew, busy week. The installation we did mostly are window cleaning customers. Yeah. Uh-oh. What happened there? I want to talk. Paul. Paul always got gold. Paul's got gold. Paul's got gold. I guarantee you that. We have guys in our area doing jobs for half the price per foot, and we still are doing 5 times as many houses as them. Why? Because we target the clients with money that only want the best premium quality and service. And that's the thing too that I've noticed more than anything. Um, how are you all talking to people? How are you answering the phone? Is it going to voicemail? Are you returning? How fast are you getting these quotes back out? Are you getting them quotes out the same day? Are you getting them out the same hour? Most times if you can get a quote out in the same hour, you're going to have that thing booked before the other person even gets them a quote, and you get their deposit, and then that way they're going with you even if they do get a cheaper one. So it's important that we make sure that we hammer down. We are located in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We are pricing $78 a foot. If you sell it right, at least 90% of the times you'll get the job. So raise your prices. If you're that high of a close rate, raise your prices. I'm noting the addresses of those that don't have lights this year. Visit them personally and say, hey, don't you want lights like your neighbors? Yep. Got my highest ticket in the morning. Not the hardest by any means. Anyone here in DFW, I'd like to meet up and compare notes. How can I increase my commercial jobs? Bid it. Raise your prices. Bid it out. Give them different options. Jason, you should make a video calling random companies and centering their information. I would probably get, I'm not going to lie, I'd probably get a lot of no answers. I'm currently booked out to the 17th at $12 to $14 a foot. Ask, man. And you know what? I would still keep charging. I would even keep raising more. And here's the beautiful thing about when we raise our prices more and people keep buying. Next year when they come back at the same price, and then we put them in October. So that's how we make our more money next year. How much money do you, as a deposit? You can do this one of two ways. You could do 50% if you're just starting out and you're kind of struggling for cash. Do 50%. If you're not struggling for cash, you could do a number like $500 or $750. So that way it puts the card on file, it keeps them in there, and it's just easy to remember every time it is, right? Hey, and on the phone, hey, we do offer, you do have to have a $500 deposit to be able to be booked and put on this calendar. So then that way you can do that, so it's just easier. If you try to do 50% and they're like, well, how much is 50%? And you're like, well, you got to start doing math and stuff like that. Mr. Gerson, what's up, Jason? I'm really liking flat roof commercial. Looks like those will be the target for next year. They pay more and less work than residential. You don't have to worry about falling off. 50% deposit. This week got a referral turned into a $7,500 residential install for a land developer that owns Hiltons and Hamptons in my area. And they loved us to handle their accounts now for lights, wash, and paint. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Christmas lights is not just about Christmas lights, right? So they're going to turn a $7,500 job into a $1 million job because now they can paint the Hiltons, they can wash the Hiltons, they can do all of that stuff, right? So it goes back to, we do amazing work and they love us, they'll give us a lot more. And so that's the beautiful of making sure that we take care of our customers. We keep in contact. We make sure that the communication is the number one thing that will get us more and more business. Communication is the thing that will grow your business more than anything. The lack of communication will sink your business faster than anything else. If you don't communicate, you will lose your business very fast. You won't even be in business. Communication. And if you don't know how to talk, go take classes. You can literally go online and find a Toastmaster near you. There's hundreds of them. Guaranteed, there's hundreds of Toastmasters in your area. And they will help you learn how to talk and it's cheap. It's like $40 a year is what it costs to join. And you will learn how to speak. You will learn how to speak better. You will learn how to speak and not say ums and nims and blah, 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 blah. And it's just a small local people, and people, usually it's a lot of older people. Sometimes you can find some groups that have younger people, but it will help you learn how to talk better. It'll help you learn how to close better. It'll help you learn how to listen. It'll help you learn how to tell stories better. And so these are things that can help you sell better. So if you suck at speaking, if you suck at talking, if you hate talking, go find a Toastmasters. It's literally like $40 a year. It's super cheap. I've joined one, right? Why? Because I want to speak more. I want to speak. Whether you want to speak in public or you just want to speak to another person and a human being and not sound like a hillbilly. I probably will always sound like a hillbilly because I am a hillbilly, but that's fine, right? If you look back at my old videos, you'll be like, you've come a long way, Jason. So don't be afraid to build those relationships with these people. You know, I know Andrew personally. He's built a relationship off of one of his very first Christmas or pressure washing customers and made over $1 million off that customer, right? You never know how much one business card was worth, how much one sign is worth. Now, I'll tell you how much a sign in your garage is worth. This much, zero. So you never know what one sign is worth. You never know what one business card is worth. You never know what one networking event that you go to might be worth. You never know. That's why you got to tell everybody about your business. I meant, how can I promote for commercial jobs? So how do you do it? You can do it through, I know people that have gotten them off yard signs. I know people that have gotten them off of Google Ads. But honestly, if you're going to really target them, you want to target them through probably LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we can target property managers. We can target a lot of people. We can target doctors and lawyers, and we can target those people that own those buildings. And so LinkedIn is probably going to be your best bet at it. Well, I mean, I call these companies and show the difference of how people talk to you. Oh, I know. Commercial jobs. Talk to the places you go anyway. Vet, bank, yes. Talk to them. Christmas lights is a gateway drug. What do you think of targeting commercial property manager on LinkedIn for Christmas lights? Absolutely, Gerson, 100%. Man, I got asked to do my first tree wrap this year. I used your paint roller ideal and smashed it out of the park. Awesome. It's super simple. Communication has seemed to be a huge benefit. Yep. Signing up today for Toastmasters now. Yep. Hey, Jason, what's the most bulbs you can connect to one outlet? Oh, you know what? I forgot about this one right here. I seen Mike had talked something. It's a lot. You'd be surprised. I've had like 1,300 C9s on one line before, a bunch of trees. If you're worried about it, go get you a kilowatt meter. So I talked to Mike from Williams Washing, and he posted a thing on there that he closed a big like $12,000 or $15,000 job today for Christmas lights, and so that's amazing. That's awesome. Is there a site for light contractors that isn't? Yes, ChristmasLights.io. ChristmasLights.io. If you need training, I got that. If you need a website, I got that. That can be under the website. Or if you need materials, it'll say buy materials, buy lights. So far, my commercial projects, restaurants, and car dealerships, thinking about targeting hundreds of those next year. The one thing I will tell you, Gerson, is make sure we get lots of pictures of them. Right? Whatever we take pictures of and put pictures of them up, that's what people are going to see. So make sure, even if you got to go pay a good photographer and get good pictures of them, so that way it makes it go a lot better. I have watched all your videos now. I want to go do that speech thing. I got you. Use it for video purposes, something you can post. Yeah. I'm booking to join my apartment association in my area. How can I make the best of the events? Go talk to people, rub arms, talk to the owners, talk to the managers, talk to anybody, right? Talk to everybody, see what their problems are. So you can go, if you can find out what their problems are, then you can come up with a solution for them. Clarky from Griswold Clark, 30 feet of leafless. How many minis can I connect to the cover that tree? Can I string together C7s? Which would you recommend to use? I would probably do C7. You could do minis. You can do about 30 strands before you really need to start worrying about it popping the break or popping the fuse in the first one. But C7s would probably look better on it. And then you can just do it that way. We did a tree that was about 40 feet with Lee that I posted a while ago. It was actually 2 trees. I think we were right at about 700 or 800 feet of C7. What up, Clark? How's your crew doing? Good, dude. About 28 installs, 40,000 so far. Good. Got 3 guys who are working hard. Nice. You are slacking a little bit. I don't know if you heard me when I was talking about Sam at 225. So all these guys were in the same class. Clark and Nathan and Sam was there and a bunch more. Ray was there. I haven't seen Ray on tonight. I'm sure he'll listen to it later, but a bunch of you guys were there. So what else questions you got? I know I've been going on for forever. Going to do Christmas lights next year in Florida. Been busy in pressure washing. You know, that's the thing about Florida, right? Because this is your busy season for pressure washing. A lot of you guys, you know, all the snowbirds are heading down south, and so this is a busy time for Christmas or for pressure washing. So Christmas lights can be huge for you. Yeah, you could do. I would definitely do on that tree. Definitely do 24-inch. You could even do 36-inch, and you'll be fine. Of C7. Yep, C7. And then what you can do is put a couple twinklies in there too. It makes it look cool. Kind of keeps your eye from not seeing it. Well, go check out ChristmasLights.io. I do have a membership and I teach how to do it every Monday. We talk about marketing. And I have some old Monday marketing ones that I would highly suggest. I've had one about 2 or 3, it was October 31st, 10/31, I think it was. And that one we talked about LinkedIn. It was gold for sure. A lot of good information. And so go check that out. You can go, like I say, you can do that. Right now, it does come with the website. You can get a phone number with it also. And so you can do that. I'm trying to work on some follow-up stuff. Once I start getting this stuff fixed, the websites will be going up or on their own. And so that is what my goal is. So that way we can help it grow and make it better. That's my goal. Getting some sleep. Sleep is important, you grinders. Appreciate you guys and time. You think install will go on until the 24th, or will it die sooner? It'll die sooner than that. They'll usually dies about the 10th. Is about when it's going to start dying. It might die a little bit before that. Between the 5th and 10th, it'll go pretty hard, pretty fast. So that's definitely something to think about. But, well, I hope you all have a great night. I hope you have a great week. Make sure that you spend time with your family and kids. I know this is crazy time. I know this is the time that it's kind of balls to the wall, but it should start slowing down for some of you. And so make sure you spending time with the family. It's a great family thing that we always did. I always took the kids and the wife, and we always went and looked at our lights. And I looked at everybody else's lights, and I took pictures of everybody else's lights, and I took pictures of my own lights. And so it's a fun time to do with the family. It's a good time to see what other people are doing, how they're doing it. We did a house yesterday, and it looked like crap. It was even in the daytime. I'm like, that's not even going to look good at nighttime. But you know what? This is some things that you can do to go out and eat dinner somewhere and ride around with the kids and go look at Christmas lights. I just got a I just got a new Christmas lighting job because a neighbor saw me installing. I ran out of materials. Where can I get materials in a local store so I can get materials faster? It depends on where you're at. There is some local places around. Ace has some of it, but they're probably pretty high. Ace Hardware might have some, but like I know people that live here in Cincinnati and they drive to Indianapolis because Fred has it all in Indianapolis. So if you're within driving range of Indianapolis, Raleigh, North Carolina, or Denver, Colorado, those are stores. I know there's a store, I believe, in Kansas somewhere. So there's stores around there. I know there's a store in Pennsylvania. There's stores around that you may could drive to and get it. Wintergreen is in around Atlanta, so there's lots of different places that you can go get it if you need it that bad. Difference between Million and Optimal, just different brands. I'm not been too happy with the Million color bulbs. We did a color change out. DJ put warm white up. We had to go put up color bulbs. And color bulbs suck because they don't have long enough tits. And when they don't have long enough tits, they don't hit the other little tits. And you don't have no lights on and you break it. So you got to have some nice long tits to be able to make that work. This week was my Thanksgiving week. Yeah. Um, Good night, y'all. Hope y'all have a great night. Thank y'all and hope y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all later.